India runs a trade deficit of about $333 billion and imports 88% of its crude oil. Every month, the country spends about $19 billion just buying oil. The result, rupee is hitting repeated record lows. It is testing the 97 rupees per dollar mark for the very first time. Suggestions are for interest rate hikes, but rate increases to defend the rupee is not going to fix the problem. Every basis point of rate hike makes borrowing costlier for Indian businesses. It does nothing to cut the import bill. Punishing the Indian growth to attract foreign bond money is a bad trade. Now compare this to China. Beijing held the yuan deliberately weak for about 15 years, and that decision had built an export machine that now runs $1 trillion annual surplus. India sits at the opposite end. It imports oil, gold, fertilizers, electronics, and edible oil of all things. Strengthening the rupee when half your exports need imported raw material just inflates costs. It does not make you competitive. The Reserve Bank of India has burned through $30 billion in terms of reserves since February, trying to shore up the rupee, and that is not a strategy. That is running on a treadmill while the floor keeps moving. India has no structural dollar-earning engine that scales with rupee weakness the way manufacturing does for export economies. Foreign portfolio investors have pulled out of nearly $21.73 billion from the Indian stocks in just 4 months. Bond inflows alone cannot plug that gap. With Brent crude above $100, India's current account deficit is headed towards 2% of the GDP. So raising the rates to attract foreign debt capital while the domestic economy needs cheaper credit is like fixing a leak but drilling another hole in the same wall. The rupee problem is real, but the rate hikes are not going to solve it.